Hello everyone and welcome to dr-anum.AI. I am Dr. Anum, a PhD scholar and computer science specialist. On this channel, we decode the complex world of artificial intelligence and explore how technology is reshaping our future. Let's dive into today's video. Today we're going to talk about something pretty incredible, a totally new way of looking at and diagnosing one of the world's most difficult diseases. We're talking about that amazing intersection where artificial intelligence meets human biology, and how one researcher is literally using computer code to decode cancer. So, let's start with this number, 2.3 million. Just let that sink in for a second. That's roughly how many new cases of breast cancer are diagnosed around the world every single year. It's a staggering statistic that just immediately puts the massive scale of this problem into perspective. Behind every statistic is a person. The challenge isn't just data, it's deeply human. Because that huge number, it's not just a number. Behind every single one of those statistics is a person, a family, a whole community. The fight against cancer isn't just about data in a lab, it's profoundly, deeply human. Which of course leads us to this huge question. When a challenge is this big and this personal, you can't just keep doing the same things. Even if you do them a little better, you need a new edge. You need a completely new advantage. So, where do you find one? Well, that new advantage, it turns out, lies in our ability to see what we can't see with our own eyes. We're talking about technology that can actually peer deep into our own biology and find patterns that have been hidden from us this whole time. Artificial intelligence isn't just about computing power, it's about a new form of perception. We tend to think of AI as just, a super fast calculator, raw computing power, but that's not really what this is about. It's about perception. It's about having a new set of eyes that can look at the insane complexity of our biological data and actually make sense of it. And the secret sauce here is something called pattern recognition. Okay, imagine trying to find one specific misspelled word in a library filled with millions of books. It's impossible for a person. That's kind of what we're up against with genetic data. But an AI, it can read that entire library in a flash. And it doesn't just find the one word, it finds the subtle relationships between all the words that tell an entirely new story. Traditional methods often rely on a highly trained expert looking at a slide. And while that's an incredible skill, it's still subject to human limitations like fatigue and simple error. AI, on the other hand, sees the raw data behind the image. It never gets tired, it's always consistent, and it can process information on a scale that is just, it's completely beyond what any human being is capable of. So, who's the person driving this incredible shift? It's time to meet the architect behind this whole new approach. This is Dr. Anum, and what makes her work so powerful is that she stands right at the crossroads of two very different worlds. You've got the precise, logical world of computer science on one side and the messy, complex, biological world of healthcare on the other. It's a very rare and a very powerful place to be. I believe the code we write today can become the cures of tomorrow. This idea that code isn't just for building websites or apps, the same languages we use to build our digital world can actually become a tool for translation, helping us finally understand the fundamental language of our own selves. It's not just about being a brilliant programmer, it's having that PhD level computer science knowledge combined with a deep understanding of the real-world problems that doctors and patients face every day, and then specializing in that one tiny, incredibly difficult area where those two fields collide. That's the magic combination. So, how does this actually work? How do you take an AI and fuse it with our body's own genetic signals to find something like cancer? First, we need to talk about something called gene expression. A cell's activity log metaphor is perfect. Think of it like this. Your DNA is the giant instruction manual for your body, but gene expression is the log of which instructions are being used right now. It shows which genes are switched on, which are off, and how loud they're shouting. It's the symphony of activity that reveals whether a cell is healthy or if it's starting to go down a dangerous path. Once you get that, the process makes a lot of sense. First, the AI just drinks from a fire hose of this gene expression data. Second, it starts hunting for a very specific, unique signature. We're not talking about just one broken gene. It's looking for a complex pattern, maybe a few dozen genes suddenly turning way up while hundreds of others go quiet. It's this unique genetic fingerprint that screams cancer. And finally, once it recognizes that signature, the AI can make a prediction with incredible accuracy. This isn't just an improvement, it's diagnosing a disease from its most fundamental biological source code. It's like the difference between seeing smoke from a fire versus having a sensor that detects the very first molecule of combustion. By finding that genetic signature, you're diagnosing the disease from its actual biological source code. Okay, so this technology is absolutely mind-blowing. But what's the end game here? What does this look like when it actually leaves the lab and makes its way into the real world, into the lives of millions of people? Well, the vision is to create a whole new standard of care. And it's built on these three really powerful ideas. First, making it accessible so it doesn't matter where you live. Second, making it affordable so we can tear down the financial walls that stop people from getting diagnosed early. And of course, the big one, making it incredibly accurate so we can catch this disease earlier and more reliably than we ever thought possible. And really, what all of this points to is a future where medicine becomes proactive instead of reactive. Instead of waiting for symptoms to show up and then trying to fight a battle that's already started, we could move to a world where we predict and prevent disease before it even gets a foothold. That's the real game changer. Decode cancer today, what can we prevent tomorrow? Dr. Anum's work is focused on breast cancer right now, but the method itself, using AI to read our body's genetic activity log, the potential is just staggering. If we can master this for one disease, what else is written in our biological code that we might finally be able to read, understand, and maybe even rewrite? I hope you found this video insightful. If you are passionate about AI, healthcare technology, and professional research, make sure to subscribe to dr-AnumAI and hit the bell icon for more expert insights. Feel free to drop your questions in the comments below. See you in the next one. Stay curious.